I met my client at the Windsor Gardens to show him a condo unit. We walked into the unit, and that's when he hit me on the head. Then he robbed me, and he took off. My mistake was I went in first and let him walk in behind me. It happened so fast.
My client said he was an executive from Tennessee. I met him twice in the office, and he seemed like any other client. He called me to show him a property. I asked another colleague to go along with me. He met us at the house, and once we were inside, he managed to separate us. He attacked my colleague with a stun gun. I screamed when I realized what was going on, and he ran. Imagine how I felt when the police showed me that he had circled my picture in the MLS book. I took precautions. I even took self-defense classes, but I still became a statistic right here in our community. I realized that many realtors think that what happened to me was an isolated incident. He was in the basement and I was upstairs. He kept asking me questions. He was very persistent, and even though something told me I shouldn't, I went downstairs. That's when he attacked me.
The stories you have just heard are alarming events. We use them to illustrate the importance of taking safety precautions in your work. The very nature of real estate can be risky for both men and women. Every year, realtors nationwide are threatened, robbed, or physically or sexually assaulted. Nationwide, 21 real estate agents were murdered while on the job in 2000. 57 violent crimes were committed against real estate practitioners in 2001, including 6 murders. And according to a survey published by the National Association of Realtors, 1 in 4, or 25% of realtors, have been involved in safety incidents or harassing situations. As realtors, we need to acknowledge the danger. We need to seriously consider how we can take precaution and keep ourselves and our colleagues safe.
I think that what we all have to realize as realtors, that incidences where we put ourselves in jeopardy happen a lot more frequently than we'd like to admit, and we really need to raise our awareness about our own safety in our situations.
An open house can be a great sales tool, but it also exposes you to unfamiliar people for the first time. When you enter a house for the first time, turn on the lights and open the curtains. Check all the rooms and determine several escape routes. Is there a high fence in the backyard that might prevent you from escaping through the back door? Make sure all deadbolt locks are unlocked in case you need to escape quickly.
If you are nervous about an area, you're in a vacant home, you've got things, you might want to set up a plan. Call the office, let them know that I've arrived at the house and that I'll be calling in, maybe hourly, to be able to do that. And if you don't hear from me, please contact someone or try and call me on my cell phone, and if I don't answer, here's what I wish you to do.
As a realtor, we run into several situations. Sometimes you do get a gut reaction or a funny feeling, and I would advise everybody to go with that feeling.
When prospects begin to arrive, jot down the car description, license numbers, and physical descriptions. Remember to always walk behind the prospect. Direct them, don't lead them.
Also, have your cell phone ready. Have it charged, have it on. Nothing worse than needing the assistance and having your cell phone turned off and you have to try and power it up. Do you have signal in that area? A lot of us don't have signal everywhere, so make sure in that area you do have signal, and if not, come up with a contingency plan, knowing firsthand that you can't make a phone call. You might have someone stop in halfway through, your husband or wife stop in and just say hi and make sure that everything is fine. But have that game plan set up so you know exactly what's going on and you don't have to waste time trying to figure things out.
When meeting a client alone, you can minimize your risk by adopting safety precautions before the property showing.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
Good. You all set for this?
I'm ready. Before we go this morning, I'd like to go over the buyer agency disclosure.
When you have a new client, ask him or her to stop by your office and complete a prospect identification form, preferably in the presence of an associate. Get the client's car make, license number, photocopy the driver's license. Keep this information at your office. Call references and verify employment and current address. Introduce the prospect to someone in your office.
Hi.
So I'd like to introduce you to Hank.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hank is relocating with his wife, and we're going out to look at homes in Portage for about 2.5, 3 hours today. So just wanted to let you know in case someone was to call.
All right.
A would-be assailant does not like to be noticed or receive exposure. Knowing a person could pick him out of a police lineup. Confirm as many details as possible about ownership of a property before you view it, especially a vacant property. Arrive early and look around the neighborhood. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, reschedule the appointment until you feel more comfortable. Consider taking a partner and avoid evening appointments whenever possible.
Susie, this is Marv. I'm out here at this house. These people are supposed to meet me here at 2 o'clock. It's already 2:30. I'm going to lock it up, shut the lights off and everything, and I'll be back in the office in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
When you are going to the office, you should be thinking of several things. Should I park my car in a safer place? Does anyone know I'm here? What doors are locked or unlocked? Does the office have an escape route in case of an emergency? Make sure you know the safety features of your office. Video cameras or monitors in key places, security door with entry codes and intercom access, buzzers for entrance before and after normal business hours, panic buttons, a locked door policy, proper lighting in the parking lot or office, a method of checking out of the office with agents' names, destination, customer names, and expected return time. It is not a pleasant topic to think about, but you may find yourself confronted by a dangerous person. What can you do?
If you are in that situation where you do have to do a flight situation, which is obviously the best way to go, you don't want to confront someone, no matter how big they are. Your best chance is just to get away. Make sure that you dress for it. Have shoes that you could do that. Don't worry about your shoes also. If you're in a home and the seller insists that you take your shoes off, don't be afraid to leave your shoes on that. Don't be afraid to leave your purse if that's what's necessary. Whatever it is, that's something we can replace. We just can't replace you. So your safety is number one, and make sure you know where your keys are. Don't leave them in your purse. Is there a way you can have a spare key with you at all times, so if in a moment's notice you could be out in your car and have that ability to lock yourself in and get away at that time?
You have to trust your instincts. If there's a situation where you feel uncomfortable, you must ask someone to assist you. There are going to be circumstances where you cannot meet the client at the office, and if that situation arises, you must be smart, you must be wise, and you must be safe.
Sometimes when you are confronted, especially if you've got someone that's larger than yourself, if you're not trained, you might have to go along with them a little bit until there's the opportunity to be able to do that. You don't want to agitate that individual so that it gets them into a aggressive stage. So if you have to buy a little time by going through and giving yourself the opportunity to get to a place where you might be able to get to a doorway or something, don't hesitate to do that. Sometimes your best friend is talking. Be safe. Always keep an eye on what's going on. Listen to your instincts. Pay attention to your surroundings also. Could be the difference between getting out with no problem or having a problem. Also, be assertive. If there's a problem going on, be firm, stand up to the person, and make sure you take a look that I can get out here and have a plan just as anyone would.
Real estate practitioners are expected to be self-assured, assertive, intelligent individuals who are able to take care of themselves. But agents are not immune to crime. Unfortunately, crime has touched realtors in a very personal way. Agents who are just doing their job have become victims. Law enforcement agencies inform us that realtors are at an elevated risk of becoming a victim of crime because they work in very public positions, are constantly meeting total strangers, frequently work alone and during non-traditional work hours, and are under less than ideal personal safety parameters. Remember, crime has no boundaries. There are 3 simple things that can make a difference. First, identify the person you are working with before you join him or her. Second, always carry your cell phone and don't hesitate to call for help. Third, always trust your instincts. These simple steps can protect you and even save your life. Make it a habit and encourage your colleagues to do the same.